Okay, so for this project we are going to need our bead, a fish line, and a scissors. Okay, so the fish line I'm using is 0.7 millimeter. You can use 0.6 or 0.5 if you can get this size. And then the bead I'm working with is a size 8. It's a round bead, a pearl bead. You can get any other bead of your choice, but it should be size 8 for this particular project. Okay, next we are going to cut our fish line and start working. So first you want to take a bead and just pass it through your fish line like this. We are going to kind of create like a knot to secure our bead. So we are going to go through from the other side of the bead like this and pull. So now you want to make sure that is really secured so your beads don't fall out as you start to add more beads to your fish line. So you want to make sure that is really tight. So now we are going to be putting our beads into our fish line, and for this particular project we are going to be working in multiples of 10. That is depending on how big you want your bag to be, that is how much bead you are going to use. So for the size I'm making, I'm going to be working with 50 beads. That is multiples of 10 in 5 places. So if you want yours to be bigger than what I'm working on, then you can make yours 60, 70, 80 depending on what you want. And then after completing the number you want, you're going to add extra 5. So I'm working with 50, so at the end of the day I'm going to have 55. So I'm going to put in my 55 beads now, and then I'll be back to show you what next. Okay, so now I have my 55 bead, and so the first thing I'm going to do is to count 15, which is the first 10 plus the extra 5 that I added. So after counting 15, you're going to pass your fish line through that 15th bead to create like a ring like this. So you should have something like this. So next I'm going to put in 9 beads into my fish line, 9 beads, and then I'm going to come back and count 9. I'm going to count 9 beads, and then I'll go through the 10th bead. Remember, we are working in multiples of 10, so I put in 9 beads, then count 9, and then go through the 10th bead. Okay, so again I'm going to take another 9 beads and then count 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and then go through the 10th bead. Okay, so we're going to be doing just that. You put in 9 beads and then you count 9 and go through the 10th bead. Remember, we're working multiples of 10. So for me, I just have 2 more to complete mine because I'm working with 50. Okay, so I'm done with mine, and I have a total of 5 rings. So you should have 5 if you're working with 50, and if you're working with 60, you should have 6, and so on. So now I'm going to take out the fish line from the first bead that we used to create a knot. I'm going to take out the fish line so I can tie both ends properly. So you're going to take out your fish line and then tie. Okay, you want to make sure it is really tight and secure because you don't want your bag to start falling apart. So we're going to tie that properly. Okay, now for the next row, which is row 2, I'm going to put in 9 beads, and then we are going to count 5. Remember, we were working with 9 before. That was for row 1, but for row 2 and for the rest of the bag, we're going to be counting 5. So you're going to count 5 and then go through that 5th bead, which is the middle of the ring. Okay, so we are going through the 5th bead and create something like this. Okay, so you should have this, and if yours is not looking like this, that means something is wrong. So next I'm going to take another 9 beads and then up to the next ring, count 5 and go into that 5th bead, which is at the middle of the ring. Okay, so I'm going through the 5th bead to create another ring. I know it doesn't look like a ring, but we're going to be calling it ring for the sake of this project. Okay, so you're going to be doing just that. You put in 9 beads, count 5 and go into the 5th bead, put in 9 beads, count 5 and go into the 5th bead until you get to the end of the row. Okay, so now we are at the end of row 2, and then for row 3 we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to take 9 beads and then count 5 and go through the 5th bead. Just as we did in row 2, we're going to be doing the same thing until we get our desired size. So you take in 9, you count 5, and then you go through the 5th bead. You take 9, you count 5, you go through the 5th bead until you get to the end. Okay, so I'm done with my, and I have a total of 7 rows. So depending on how big you want your bag, you can decide to add more rows to your project, but for me this is fine. So next thing is we're going to learn how to join the sides together. Okay, so to join the sides together, first I'm going to take in 4 beads, okay, and then I'm going to count 5. Yeah, I'm going to count 5 and then go through the 5th bead. So we are going to be counting 5 still, but the only thing is now we are working with 4 beads instead of the 9 beads we have been working with. So I'll take in 4 beads and go through the 5th bead. So next I'm also going to take another 4 beads, okay, and go into the 5th bead. Okay, so I'm going to count 5 from the other side and then go through the 5th bead. Okay, so next I'm also going to take another 4 beads and then count 5 from the other side and then go into the 5th bead. So I'm going to be doing that till the very end. So 4 beads, count 5 on this side, then go through the 5th bead, 4 beads, count 5 on the other side, and go to the 5th bead till you get to the end. Okay, okay, so now I'm going to be working on the other side of the bag, and I'm just going to let you watch what I'm doing because it's the same thing I did on the other side. So I'm just going to let you watch and then I'll be back when we are done with joining the sides of the bag. Okay. I'm done joining the sides of the bag, and I also brought out my fish line to the top of the bag, and then I went in with 35 beads. So you can do more depending on how you want your handle to look like. 35 is okay for me. And so the next thing is I'm going to take the other fish line and go through all 35 beads. So next thing is I'm going to take my fish line and go through all 4 beads. The first 4 beads we attach to the side, okay, so I can come out at the other side and create another handle. So I'm going to do that to both sides, okay, so we can have 2 handles. So you take your fish line through the 4 beads, and then this is what you should have, okay. And now we are done with our beaded bag, and we've come to the end of this video. So next you can go in with your drawstring bag or any zipper bag that you want, but for me I'm going with a drawstring bag, okay. So you can use any color, whatever size you want. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and then comment, and I'll see you in my next video. And do have a wonderful week. Bye.